The Marvels have failed. Wish is failing. And Doctor Who is an unmitigated mess. I haven't seen any of it, but I do want to talk about why these results are these results, and they shouldn't shock anyone. Let's talk about it. It was pointed out to me before we get started that when I do get started, I don't reintroduce myself. So, in the famous words of Jay-Z,
allow me to reintroduce myself.
What's going on, y'all? This is your man, Big Brother Tucker. And I want to talk about why these entertainment icons are failing. Disney Animation, Doctor Who, which is a mainstay of BBC, and of course the IP known as Marvel. Here's the thing. What they claim to be trying to appeal to is the modern audience. That's a lie. The entire concept of a modern audience is a lie. There is no modern audience. There's just an audience. And I plan on dissecting this bullshit piece by piece. Because what happens is you have the executives that have focus groups. Or let me take that back. They used to have focus groups. Now their focus group is Twitter/X. That's who they listen to. Without understanding, even after being told by Elon himself, that most of that positive reception about what us normal people call gender ideological, political bullshit is all fabricated. It's bots. It's one person controlling 30 accounts to make y'all believe that we want to see more alphabet mob, more empowered women, and all the other bullshit in our entertainment. It's not real. And my question to them would be, how much more money do you have to lose before you realize it's not real? The Marvels is on pace to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. I repeat to you, they are on pace to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. That's following the other string of financial failures that Disney has put out there in both their IPs and their animation studios. Wish isn't doing too good. The live action Little Mermaid, I believe, barely broke even, may have just fallen short somewhere around there. Strange Worlds, flop. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, please. As a matter of fact, everything Marvel past Endgame has been a smashing failure, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Their live action remakes, they've done them to death, and everyone unanimously hates them. But why do they keep doing it? Because they keep listening to that phantom focus group on X that lets them believe that we want to hear more of it. We want to see more of it. We want it to be put in our face. I would have thought Marvel as a property would have learned from their sagging sales with gender politics led comics, but they don't, because they're making TV shows. Miss Marvel, the self-insert by Sana Amanat, huge
sometimes they say huge
failure. Captain Marvel, not much better. I've discussed all this in a previous video. So why do they keep doing it? They are trying to appeal to an audience that isn't there. And when the normal people complain about it, we are constantly told it's not for you. Oh, well, this movie isn't made for you. Or this movie isn't made for you. Well, going by box office receipts, it's made for fucking no one. No one is watching this garbage. It's failing over and over and over again. Now, to me, I'm cool with it because I see up and coming people in entertainment, comic book writers like the Rippaverse by Eric July, short films coming out by The Critical Drinker, stories that they write that are just based on entertaining. That's it. That's their sole purpose. They're just based on entertaining, not trying to send a message, not trying to push a political agenda, not trying to insert themselves or propagate a gender ideological issue. None of that. These people write and create to entertain. You know, what Hollywood used to be.
Yeah, that was it. That's it.
But now, they would rather go broke trying to satisfy their ESG score and appeal to an audience that doesn't exist than they would than try to entertain.
Not a great plan.
As I just said a moment ago, we're often told it is not for us normal people. And amazingly, when we adhere to that and we don't go see it, then we get blamed for it. Going back to Charlie's Angels. It's not for you. Well, why didn't you go see it? Remember when Brie Larson made her comment about 40-year-old white guys?
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Okay, so Brie, apparently you don't want us commenting, you don't want us seeing it, so we'll just let it go. And then crashes, and not that I'm a white guy, but I'm part of the normal group that she's addressing. I don't care. I don't care to see your crap. You have dumbass people.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
And they did.
I think I tend to be pretty optimistic, but in this one I'm worried. I'm straight worried. Why? Because stores are closing at a phenomenal rate. Independent comic sales are down. Mainstream comic sales are down, except for the top 3 or 5 books are up, and everything in the mid list is way down. Numbers that used to be numbers that would get you canceled are now like, no, that's a hit.
Don't cry foul. Don't shed tears now. You told us what to do. You said if we don't like it, don't buy it. We didn't buy it. Enjoy your poverty.
Proceed on your way to oblivion.
Or, to be fair, your lack of success. What good entertainers do, what good producers of entertainers do, they don't attack their fans. These media corporations now, that's all they do. When it fails, it's not their fault. No matter how many times they keep repeating the same mistake over and over again, it's not their fault they failed. It's gotta be the fans.
The Star Wars fan base really seems to be the most kind of toxic at the moment.
They're just not sophisticated enough. They're just not smart enough. They just don't get it. No, actually, we get it. What we don't get is your stupidity. Speaking directly about Disney, Disney bought the IPs of Marvel and Star Wars, primarily to appeal to the male demographic, because with all their princesses, they have the girl population on lock. So they got the things that young boys like, young men like. And what did they do? Almost instantly turn it into a girl brand.
I love girls, I do adore.
I've never understood any business that does that. You see an IP. Corporation sees an IP, an intellectual property. They buy it because they see that the fan base is so large and so rabid and so ravenous that they can make money off the fan base of that intellectual property. So they buy it up so they can make money off of it, off that fan base. And what do they immediately do? Everything that is the antithesis of that fan base. They do the exact opposite of what the fans like and keep repeating that cycle over and over again until that IP is run into the ground. And then they sit back and go, but why? I've addressed this before. The bull narrative on superhero fatigue. It's not superhero fatigue. It's garbage fatigue. Seriously, it's garbage fatigue. Do y'all understand when they say superhero fatigue? It's not the same, but believe it or not, it is closer than you think. During phases 1 through 3, the Infinity Saga, the creation of the MCU, do y'all understand how many television shows were out at the same time they're releasing all those movies? Remember, we had Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and then followed up with The Punisher. That were in rotation at the same time that they were releasing movies. Now, currently, how many shows have they released since the end of the Infinity Saga? We've had what? WandaVision, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, What If, Loki. That's just 5, I do believe. I could be missing some, but like I said, it's amazing to see how many shows they had out this time as they did last time. It's not that much of a difference. The only difference is what they're releasing now is garbage. Don't let them gaslight y'all. Don't let them take the easy out of, oh, it's the audience. They're just tired of it. Yeah, we're tired of bullshit. We're tired of garbage. We're tired of lackluster effort. That's what we're tired of. And for some reason, instead of giving us quality, you think that the solution is to give us more garbage and faster. That's very nonsensical. But it is to be expected from corporations, especially poorly run ones like Disney. So I don't think anyone should buy into that concept of, well, the audience is tired and we're trying to go for a new modern audience. Here is something else they do not figure. Everybody that has tried to cater to that audience has failed. Because either, one, that audience is not big enough to get the return that you need to make a profit, or two, the audience just doesn't exist. I say it's a little both. Y'all cater to the LGBTQ audience. They don't go see shit. They don't. Again, ask Billy Eichner. The Bros rom-com, trash. Even they didn't go see it. Even right now with the Marvels. We made it for the women. They didn't go see this shit. The demographic on the people who went to go see Marvels, mostly men. By far. So that's why I say, don't let them gaslight y'all and fall for that bullshit. The modern audience. It's just an audience. You make good things, and a good audience will watch. Stop trying to race bait and pander. Just entertain. Tell a good story, and the message will develop organically. Do you understand how long we've had gay television shows? Going back to my day, in the 80s, there was a very well-written show. It was called Brothers, not to be affiliated with Billy Eichner's bullshit bros. It was called Brothers. It was a story about 3 brothers. An older brother who's an old school blue-collar worker, a middle brother who is an entrepreneur bar owner, and a younger brother who suddenly realizes he's gay and cancels his wedding on the day he's supposed to get married to his female wife. And the show lasted, I do believe, for about 4 seasons. And it addressed a myriad of things in a very entertaining way. It addressed the difficulty of a traditional family having to deal with a new age family member coming out as gay. It dealt with homophobia, even the worst forms of it, the unjustified attacks on gay people in the 80s. It dealt with all of it, but it never pushed it down your throat. It knew that, you know the saying that it's easier to attract flies with honey than with vinegar? There you have it. Or what Mary Poppins said.
It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
That's the way it is. And we've always had representation as minorities. And even they knew how to tell a good story. Hell, if you look at Saturday morning cartoons, the Get Along Gang, all those different animals, they had a cute little subtle message every episode. The fact that all these animals were together and getting along was a message in and of itself. Bill Cosby's Fat Albert. Look, you had a fat black kid. You had other kids. You had a kid with a speech impediment. And they taught a lesson every week. Sharing, standing up, doing the right things. This new age 2020 idiots, I have no other word for them. They believe that diversity just started with them, and it didn't. Award-winning show, Will and Grace, gay. Wasn't a big deal. Remember the TV show Roseanne? Remember when her sister came out as gay? It's always been there. It's always been told. It's always been part of the lexicon. But they knew it didn't need to be pushed because it happens just that normally, just that calmly. It doesn't have to be pushed in your face. But these media corporations, these entertainment centers now, that's all they do. They think that they are the first ones to do it, like what they're doing is some groundbreaking event. And as I just showed you, it's been happening since the 80s. So I'll never understand why media companies, media corporations expect this much money but only cater to that many people.
It just don't add up.
So, to media corporations, to the failure of the Marvels, Wish, and Doctor Who, get your head out of your ass. Get back to entertaining. And maybe, just maybe, you'll salvage yourselves. But my personal belief, y'all have gone so far the wrong way, no one even cares. I hope you were entertained and informed by that video. If you have something to say, got some thoughts on it, be sure to leave a comment down below. I ask that you share it out, spread the word. If you want to hear me bumping my gum some more, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a video and you can hear more of me chow-chacking. Please remember that these are exclusive videos on YouTube and Rumble. What you get on one spot, you may not get at the other. So, follow me on both sites to get the full effect of Free Mind Thinkers. And until next time, remember to stand up, stand out, think differently. Holla.